appointment to the Beautification Board. Ms. Dickerson. While Ms. Dickerson's getting
Okay,
ready
this
for
is
that.
this is to appoint members to the Beautification Board. It'll be 3 new members. They'll be introducing Elaine McClooney, Nancy Burge, and Claudia DeShera.
Very good. Any questions on those 3 members? Yes. Several appointments. Now for the item number 4, appointment to the CDA.
Yes, we received 3 applications for that, and this will be to fill a vacancy for place number 3 for the term ending March 15th of 2025.
Do we have names for that yet, or is that still?
We don't have a name yet, but we do have 3 applications, so it's still being reviewed, and we'll have that by Monday.
Very good. Any questions on that item? And item number 5 is for an appointment to the DRA.
Okay, yeah, and 5, 6, and 7 is all the same. It's for, we received 6 applications. This is to fill a vacancy for place number 4 for the term ending December 31st of 2025. To fill a vacancy for place number 6 for the term ending December 31st, 2027. And to fill a vacancy for place number 2 for the term ending December 31st, 2029.
You said 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, for December 31st, 2029. So it's place 4, 6, and 2.
Okay. 3 spots, 6 applications.
Yes, that's correct.
No names on those either. We'll have those Monday.
And that's correct.
All right. Any questions on that item? I know if you have any questions over the weekend, Mr. Murphy would be available to answer those. And item number 8 is an IDB appointment.
Okay, there was 3 applications received for this. It's to fill a vacancy for the term ending October 31st to 2029
For 1 spot?
for 1 spot.
All right. Any questions on that? That was also being held or conducted by Councilor Murphy. All right. Item number 9 is a resolution approving an alcohol license
Okay,
for
this is,
Birmingham LLC.
yes, this is for the property located at 5426 Highway 280, Suite 6, for on and off-premise retail beer and table wine. The chief of police and the city planner have no issues with this request.
Questions from the council? None. Item 10 is a resolution. Actually, we're going to take all these at one time, as we are accustomed to. Once we pass a budget, once the clerk's office has done the due diligence on applications for CSAs, those now come before the council for consideration. Items 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 are all part of that. I will read those just so we have them. Those are the Hoover Arts Foundation, Hoover Bells, Hoover City Schools Foundation, Hoover Helps, Hoover Historical Society, Hoover Service Club, Robert Finley Character Foundation. Any questions on any of those items? Ms. Dickerson, anything to add to that?
No, these were all budgeted, and the amounts are the same from FY24.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. Item number 17 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with International Council of Shopping Centers. Mr. Pruitt.
Good evening. As part of our ongoing efforts to market the city to new businesses, our team is planning to attend the 2025 International Council of Shopping Centers trade show next May. This is the world's largest gathering of retailers and commercial developers. So we're very excited this year. We're planning to have a booth, a Hoover branded booth. So we'll have space for taking meetings and showcasing the city. So the item before you is a contract that we've got to sign to exhibit at the convention center.
Any questions for Mr. Pruitt?
And this is already budgeted. It's not a new budget request.
Yep, you got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Pepper is here for items 18 and 19. 18 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Miss Hoover Foundation.
It is. Thank you for having me here tonight. This is a community service agreement It didn't get put up on the other ones, but this is between the City of Hoover and the Miss Hoover Foundation to continue to host the Miss Hoover pageant.
Any questions on that item? Item 19, Mr. Pepper has as well, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Jefferson County Commission.
Yeah, this is a renewal of a contract between the city and the Jefferson County Commission, in which the commission will provide the city with $20,000 that helps supplement one of our employees at the senior center. And it's, of course, with the, to help offset the expenses of running the nutrition program.
Very good. That's an annual agreement we consider each year. Any questions on that item? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Chief Bentley is here to talk to us about item number 20, authorizing the mayor to execute a professional service agreement with Center for Public Safety Excellence.
Thank you, council. This is an agreement between the City of Hoover and the Center for Public Safety Excellence for our 5-year strategic plan. That's scheduled to start December the 3rd, and that's where we have external and internal stakeholders meet and write our strategic plan for the next 5 years. And this is the first segment or the first portion of us going back through the second reaccreditation process.
Questions for Chief Bentley? Very good. Thank you, sir. Chief, I think I also have you for 21, unless Jennifer wants to handle that one. Jennifer's going to handle that one.
I'll do it.
This item 21 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter an agreement with FireStats LLC for software for fire service operations.
Sorry about that. So this, yeah,
He
this
is.
is mine. This is for an agreement with Paul Rotenberg, who's a fire statistician, to help us with some of our accreditation times and stats. And I took a class from him last year, which I had about 20 years ago, and that's how we learned about his business. And we're trying to do that since we're a little short-handed at headquarters.
Very good. Any questions for Chief on that one? Thank you, sir. Now, Ms. Cornett, item 22, this is a budget amendment for EMS supplies, fire department, and training for police department from opioid funds.
Yes, so this is a request to use some of our special revenues, which are settlements related to combating the opioid crisis. And we would like to use $200,000 of those opioid funds, 100 for fire and 100 for police. It just happened to be evenly work out that way, for EMS supplies and also some different things that the police department needs in combating opioid abuse.
Any questions for Ms. Cornett on that item? Those are rather restricted funds.
They are, and after these are allocated, we will still have close to $700,000 remaining in those funds. We get annual settlement payments in every year, but we'll still have some funds left.
There's
over.
no required time frame on when to disperse of those?
No, just for the purpose of combating the crisis. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 23 is also Ms. Cornett, resolution amended the budget to correct a position title.
Yes, in the FY '25 budget request for upgrade positions, I mistakenly called one of the upgrades the court administrative assistant, and technically the name should be administrative assistant senior. The dollars don't change, it's just we wanted, for the record, to have the right position title on there for human resources.
Any questions for Ms. Cornett on that change? And item 24 is amending the budget related to employee insurance rates.
Yes, so this past year, we use an actuary that helps us know how many dollars need to be funded in the internal service fund to pay for health insurance. Because as you know, we have a self-insured fund. And this year, from last year to this year, the actuarial estimate increased that contribution by 17%, which is very large. As you might know, the city carries 80% of those costs. The employees carried the other 20, and if they have a wellness incentive, they can reduce that to 15%, but even the 15% share in some cases caused more than $50 a month increase for employees. So this is a budget amendment request for the city to help bear part of that cost, and we are hoping that with some changes to our stop loss and experience actual versus what the estimates are for this year, that we won't have as much of an increase and burden placed on employees for that cost. So the amount of the budget amendment is a little over $140,000 in total.
Any questions for Ms. Cornett on that item? And then finally, for Jennifer, number 25, a resolution accepting a bid.
Yes. So this is a bid. This is a bid for custom and printed apparel for the city. And the lowest bidder was Capri Signs and Graphics. They are a Hoover City-owned business, and they came in as the lowest bidder, and that is the recommended award winner. And so we would like to have authorization for the mayor to execute the agreement accordingly.
Any questions on that item? Item 26, Mr. Justin is here. Rejecting the lowest bid and accepting a bid for drainage improvements.
Hi, good evening. Yes, this item is to award bid 24-017 for the drainage improvements along Savoy Street. The bids were open September 11th here in City Hall, and we received 5 bids, and after staff reviewed, we recommend awarding the bid to Gillespie Construction LLC, who was the most responsible bidder in the amount of $143,588.00. The project is located adjacent to 2308 and 2309 Savoy Street, and will include replacing the damaged culvert that's running under that street. The funding was approved during the fiscal year 2024, and so no additional resources will be required. And the contractor will have 60 days to complete the project, and we anticipate starting in late October.
Any questions for that item? Very well prepared and thorough, sir. Thank you
Thanks,
very
sir.
much. And Ms. Moore is here for item 27, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Motorola Solutions for annual maintenance agreement.
Yes, council, this is annual maintenance for the public safety radio system, and it was budgeted, so it's for the system itself. Any questions?
Nothing? No questions?
Thank you.
Ms. Moore. Item 28 is a resolution naming a public drive located on the property of Aldridge Garden. So from Lorna Road all the way to the Aldridge House, the council will consider declaring that a public street and naming it on Monday night. Any questions about that? Very well, Mr. Martin. Come on down for our first readings, beginning with item 29, a resolution granting conditional use approval for an indoor golf venue.
Yes, sir. We have a business desiring to locate at 5844 Elsie Road in the Knox Square commercial sector. And this particular business is an indoor recreational golf venue, which will offer on-premise food and alcohol sales. The Planning Commission reviewed this case at their September meeting and recommends approval of this conditional use contingent on the following. One, that the business will offer food service in keeping with the food service restaurant use classification in the zoning ordinance should alcoholic beverages be provided. And secondly, the business shall cease operations at 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and midnight Friday through Saturday. The developer of this business was agreeable to these items at the Planning Commission meeting, and do also want to note that the comprehensive plan supports commercial development at this location.
It's a first reading only. We'll have here a second reading at the second meeting in October. Any questions for Mr. Martin tonight on that? Item 30 is also a first reading for an ordinance change for property at 3951 South Shades Crest Road. Zoning change.
Yes, this is recently annexed property. The Planning Commission considered the zoning of the property at their meeting last month and recommend an R1 single-family residential zoning district. That would be in keeping both with the comprehensive plan and the zoning pattern in the vicinity.
Any questions on that item? And then finally, 31 for Mr. Martin is another zoning case at 2308 Old Rocky Ridge.
Yes, sir. This too is a recently annexed piece of property off of Old Rocky Ridge Road, just to the east of I-65 and the 459 on-ramp. The Planning Commission considered this case and recommended that an R1 single-family zoning designation be given to this property. That particular zoning is in keeping with the comprehensive plan and the zoning pattern in the vicinity.
Any questions on that item for Mr. Martin? And finally, number 32. Mr. Martin, stay close. We want to talk afterwards about an unrelated topic. All right. Please. Item 32 is an ordinance regarding repealing a previous ordinance for sales and use tax.
Yes, this is a request to amend the previous ordinance related to the reduction of the city's portion of grocery tax. The original ordinance identified a rate reduction from 3.5% to 3%, which was based on our interpretation that the city could reduce its tax up to 25%. But in the implementation process, we learned that it had to be a full 25% reduction. So it was an either-or option, either keep it as is or reduce it by the full 25% with nothing in between. So this ordinance would amend the previous one back to the original rate of 3.5.
Any questions on that item? And that's just a first reading.
So, Ms. Cornett, so no matter what, we've missed that time frame based on state law?
For implementing, yes. Okay. Yes. I believe it was a 60 days before year end that had to be implemented. So the ordinance could not be enacted because it didn't comply with state law's interpretation of that. And it's my understanding also that the state was not able to reduce its portion of grocery tax either. I'm not sure that anyone did.
I saw a note from Councilor Middlebrooks that suggested that there was a problem with the way that the statute is worded in terms of when your financials have to come in order to prove that you met the growth standard in order to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. So
Right.
I do understand that some of our representatives are going to work on making a change so that we can look at that again in the future.
Yes.
Any other questions? Thank you. All right, brings us to the end of our agenda. We're adjourned. Thank y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Chief. I told you to remind me. You did a good job of that. Sorry, I knew I'd forget you.
Council, I spoke with a friend of mine who's a truck driver, lives in North Carolina. And after talking with him, spoke with Mayor Mercado. And tonight, within the next hour, we're going to have an 18-wheeler trailer delivered to the training center. And going to get with Bentley Posey, Chief Bentley, myself, and we'll be getting out to all our constituents tomorrow that we're going to be taking donations for things that can go back to North Carolina, especially that Asheville area. So he will, it doesn't matter how many trailers we fill, he'll come pick them up, keep delivering empty ones, and deliver them at no charge to North Carolina. So very, very good guy. And again, hopefully our citizens will, they usually do. I'm sure they'll fill them up. So just wanted you to be aware of it.